Good morning, meatheads. I'm just about to leave the house to go to work, and it's been a hot minute since I've actually made a video. But I'm gonna make a video while on the ride into work, so this is gonna be loud. We'll see how bad the neighbors are pissed about this.
Good. They get
Shush.
one out of you.
Boop. Let's get the fuck out of here. Woo! Ease her up, well. Sloop. Ooh. Slow roll out of town. Slow rolling out of places, just making all kinds of noise, and they're just gonna be in their house like, this fucking Harley owner and this fucking loud motorcycle. I'm sorry that I am so loud and annoying. Anyway, boy, it feels good. We are finally done with all this house stuff. As I posted on Instagram a couple days ago, I posted a picture of my bike in our new garage, the stall of our new garage. We finally have officially moved all of our shit out of our apartment, then over to the house. And it feels so good to finally not have to worry about, like, well, really anything. All we gotta do is go in this weekend and do some cleaning of the old house, or the old apartment, I should say, and then basically leave the keys and be like, yep, here you go, we're moved out, you guys can check us out, give us back our security deposit. The bike also has fresh fluids in it. I took it up to, I'll shout out this shop here in Sioux Falls if you're looking for work to be done. It's Barely Legal Bikes. Clay runs it. He is a really awesome dude. He'll get you in whenever you need work. He doesn't do appointments. He literally does, if you need work, he'll make time to do it, like, depending on how important it is. Like, he's the guy that installed my tires, and when I had a puncture in my rear tire, he got me in right away the same day that I found it and swapped out that tire and gave me a reduced price on the new rear tire, the replacement rear tire. So if you need some work done, hit up Barely Legal Bikes here in Sioux Falls. He'll get you done at a really good price. Anyway, guys, I wanted to actually talk to you guys about the Black Hills trip that I was out on vacation with my family in the Black Hills. It was rather it was a good trip. I rode all the way out there, and I actually didn't get nearly as fatigued as I did the last time I rode out to the hills. And the last time I rode out to the hills, I didn't have my handlebars that I have now. I had the stock position handlebars, and man alive, I don't know what it was about the seating position that I was in when I had those stock bars, but my ass went numb. or I would get cramps right on my right cheek, and it would be so bad. And I don't like putting my feet up on the highway bars, like up here like this. I don't like doing that because it just doesn't seem comfortable to me. And anyway, with the stock handlebars, it was just kind of a weird position that I was in. And this time with these handlebars, it made it such a dream. It was so fun and so much more comfortable. Like I went all the way out from here to Chamberlain and met up with my family. They wanted to stop and get something, stop and eat. They made sandwiches and shit, so I stopped there, got some water, got some fluids, and had a sandwich. Trucked on. I stopped to get gas in Chamberlain because I was fighting the wind. We had a south wind at like 20 to 30 miles an hour, and it was ridiculous to fight. But it really killed my gas mileage too, because I went from Sioux Falls to Chamberlain, which is only about like 120 miles, and I was at a quarter of a tank going 80 miles an hour, so it really killed my gas mileage. But from Chamberlain to the Badlands entrance was another, we'll say 100 miles or so. And when I filled up there, I was just above I was at like 3/8 of a tank. So going 80 miles an hour, that's about what I expect to use for gas mileage, or get out of my gas tank, going 80 miles an hour for 100 miles. But I rode the Badlands. Oh, that was so fun. I had to get away I was behind my parents most of the time in their truck, following them through the Badlands loop, and I reached a point where I was like, I gotta get out ahead, and I did, and it was much more enjoyable. Very fun to ride through the Badlands. So another thing to chalk up on your list of things to do if you're riding out to the hills for Sturgis this year, or anytime you want to go to Sturgis, ride the Badlands loop if you can. Make the time to go out to it, just like you would make time to go to Devil's Tower. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm sounding all corona-y. I'm not sick with the coronavirus. My allergies kick my ass when I start doing yard work and stuff. But what else? So the cabin we stayed at was nice, but the road leading up to the cabin was not. It was a 2.5 mile stretch of gravel, and like fresh gravel, not the nice packed gravel that you can ride over and it's like, it's almost like pavement. No, this is like really loose, non-packed gravel, and it was 2.5 miles uphill with sharp turns. And actually there was a set of switchbacks on this gravel road. So least to say, when we got to the hills and I was in the hills getting some cornering in, and I'm like, all right, here's the turn for the cabin. I go up a little bit of tar, and then all of a sudden it's this really tight gravel road. I'm like, oh, well, this is not going to be fun. And it wasn't. And there was another way to get away from the cabin to get to where you could get on the main highway. It was much longer gravel, and it was far less maintained. And as the week went on, though, they were working on that 2.5 mile stretch of gravel, making it better. So it got better over the week, but still. In total, I put on about 1,300 miles. I put on about 420 miles out to the hills, including the Badlands loop. And then it was like 380 back. So do the math, it's probably put in the ballpark of 500 miles on out in the hills, which not amazing, I'll admit, but it's what I did. I also spent a lot of time with family, so we did a lot of things together. So we took our truck around places as well because it's just easier. But we rode Needles Highway, which is another road you need to ride. I plan on making a video of my top 5 roads to ride out in the hills. One of them might surprise you if you've never ridden it while you're out there for Sturgis, but it is by far my favorite road to ride because it checks a lot of boxes of views. It's mildly complex, so there are some tight technical turns without being too crazy that you can't focus on anything else other than the road itself. Oh man, I'm so sorry guys. It's got views, rather technical. You can still go fast on it, and it's rather lowly trafficked, so you feel comfortable getting into it without really having to worry about coming around a corner. And then there's a big rig coming the opposite direction that's now gonna come over the center line, or you know, stuff like that. Oh god, I sound like I'm super sick. I promise guys, I promise I don't have the corona. I really had a good time out in the hills. We actually, my wife and I talked about, since we've gotten the house moved in and all that, we don't have to make our first payment on the mortgage till August. We are debating going out to the hills on the 4th, the weekend of the 4th, and doing some camping, and I'm going to take the bike out there again and do a lot more actual riding, really get into it. And I had a really good time, and I really need to get out to the hills more often because it's honestly not that far away. I always make it out like in my head that it's, holy crap, that's such a long drive, but when you're going 80 miles an hour west on the interstate, it really only takes you 4 hours if you're going exactly 80. If you go a little bit faster than 80, like, it'll take you like 3.5 hours, 4 hours, or no, it's more like 5 hours if you're going the speed limit. But really, it's not that bad. It's, you make sure you stretch at gas stations, and you make sure you drink a lot of fluids and be as comfortable as you can, and it won't take you that long to get out there, especially from Sioux Falls. I'm gonna have to make it a point of going out there more often because I realize how good the roads are out there for traffic, for curves, views, atmosphere. Like, I always say that whenever we come back from the hills, we don't really want to leave the Black Hills, and I'm always like for a week or two afterwards trying to find like a job out there that I could do and look at houses and all that, because it's like let's try and do it, let's make it happen. But in all reality, there's just nothing for a chemist out in the Black Hills. The bike is feeling really good now since it's got some fresh oil in it, fresh lubricants. I plan on making some more content now that I have like a giant space. I now have a giant space that I can go to and actually make videos during the winter. I might actually do some videos of me updating that garage and getting it the way that I want it, so that you guys can follow along and see how much of an idiot I am at making a garage space work, and maybe you know, maybe learn a thing or two from my mistakes along the way. But I think that's where I'm gonna wrap up this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed my little talk about the Black Hills, and I hope you guys are looking forward to more content. We're now at 55 of you guys, and I am flabbergasted, honestly, at how many of you guys have subscribed, especially over the week that I was in the hills. Like, it was crazy. Oh, get in it, get it. But yeah, guys, until the next time, I will see you in the next video.